Tranquility. Tranquility is the outcome of honest learning. Honest learning is consistency of thought. Consistency of thought is full transfer. When you apply what you've learned to every situation, that's when you will experience tranquility. So tell yourself, if there's any situation in your life right now that you may be fooling yourself into thinking that you are some kind of a victim of that situation, you want to remind yourself that you are not the victim of the world you see. I am not the victim of the world I see. You want to tell yourself again, take a breath. I'm going to tell you about how juicy and powerful you are. I don't care what you tell yourself. I am not the victim of the world I see. I am not the victim of the world I see. I am not a victim of the world I see. I am not a victim of the world I see. I am not a victim of the world I see. Take a breath. I am not the victim of the world I see. I am not a victim of the world I see. I am not a victim of the world I see. I am not a victim of the world I see. That means that you are not the victim of the world you see. It's coming from your own consciousness. Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions and beliefs, conscious and subconscious, make the world that you know. That means that you are not trapped. You are not trapped in any situation, no matter how you feel right now. You're not trapped in any situation, no matter where you think you are not trapped. Don't listen to that crap that says you are trapped. Don't listen to that crap that says you are trapped. Don't listen to that crap that says you are trapped. That's right. Don't listen to that crap that says I am trapped. You are free as you were meant to be. You are free as you were meant to be. You are free as you were meant to be. You are free as you were meant to be. It means you are the child of God eternally. You are free as you were meant to be. You are a child of God eternally. You are free as you were meant to be. I am free as I was meant to be. I am free as I meant to be. That you are. You are as love created you. You are as God created you. Oh, wow. It feels like a mental shower to me. So, today we're going to talk about honesty.
Wow.
Today we're going to talk about honesty.
Okay.
On page 11. It's like, what are the characteristics of a teacher of God? What are the characteristics of a teacher of love? So if it looks like some things are being taken away right now, it just means that you're realizing that stuff isn't valuable to you anymore. It's time for you to do it new.
Yeah.
And when the Course says God's teachers, it's talking about love's teachers, because we are love. That's what we are. And love is the opposite of fear. So if you're experiencing yourself in terms of any form of fear, then it means you're not in touch with who you are. Because you are love. You don't have to affirm it to put it in you. You don't have to read to put it in you. You don't have to convince yourself that that's what you are. That's what you are. It's just covered up by the belief system that you've taken in since you got here. That's who you are. So let's take a stand that we are loved whether we know it or not. And what we want to do is have all the blocks removed that keeps us from recognizing that, okay? So All of the traits of love's teachers rest on trust. Once trust has been achieved, the other traits cannot fail to follow. Only the trusting can afford honesty, because it's only the trusting that see value in being honest. So honesty does not apply to what you say. Honesty actually means consistency. Honesty means consistency. So if I'm honest in my thinking, I'm consistent in my thinking. If I'm consistent in my thinking, then I'm using the truth consistently. I'm not using the truth in a class and then walking out there and all of a sudden I'm back in the real world, so I'm using what the world thinks is true. How can I tell if I'm using the truth consistently? If I was to say something like, the reason why I can't get a job is because of the economy, I'm not being honest. I'm not using the truth. I'm not using the truth consistently. The truth is, I am sustained by the love of my Creator. I'm sustained by the love of God. It's my consciousness that's determined my prosperity. There are people who become billionaires doing states of economy like this. It has nothing to do with the economy. As soon as you think that what you're going through is being determined by something outside of yourself, then you're not consistently using the truth, because the truth is telling us that we are the creators of our experience from our own consciousness and our own thoughts. And that that's true all the time. So if I'm being honest, then I'm being what? Consistent. So how can I tell if I'm being honest? Well, there's nothing that I say that contradicts what I think or do. No thought opposes any other thought. No act belies my word. No word lacks agreement with another. So based on that, I'm a dishonest son of a gun most of the time. Anybody else dishonest with me in here? All right. I love hanging out with a bunch of liars. I feel right at home. All right? So if I'm being truly honest, then I'm not going to say something that contradicts what I think. That is deep. And not only am I not going to say something that contradicts what I think, I'm not going to have any thought that's opposed to any other thought. Okay. I'm not going to have an action that is different from my word. And none of my words are going to lack agreement with any of my other words. That's a truly honest person. Basically, a truly honest person is a person who at no level are they in conflict with themselves. So if I'm in conflict today, I'm being dishonest with myself today, which means I'm telling myself a bunch of conflicting things, and I'm not being consistent in the truth that I'm telling myself. But I'm not guilty, I'm not bad, I'm not sinful. See, we have to let go of this idea that the way to correct ourselves is to beat ourselves up or punish ourselves. We got to let that go. You know, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, so, oh, I'm just this horrible person. I feel like crap, and then you beat yourself up mentally. Keep the psychic sledgehammers under your seats. Okay, so every time you hear something that the truth teaches and you find that you're not doing it, rejoice. Because that lets you know that there's a way out, that there's another way to do it, that you're not stuck. That's not something to be sad about. I don't want to be right when I'm miserable. If things aren't working for me, I want everything I think about myself to be wrong. I don't want to be right about my financial situation if I'm broke. I don't want to be right about what I think about relationships if I never have one that gives me any peace. I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's another way to look at it. And that's the error that we make. We can be miserable and still want to be right about our point of view. If you're miserable, hope you're wrong. If you're miserable, pray that you're wrong. Because guess what? You are.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is, you want to, like I said, you want to live in the question. How can I have, what would it take for this thing that I want to show up? What would it take for the kind of relationship I want to show up? What would it take for me to recognize true honesty within myself? You keep living in the questions without looking to your own ego to answer the question is the way you get out of situations that has you upset right now. What would it take for this to be resolved in my life right now in a way that's beyond anything I can understand? Because at some point on your spiritual path, you're going to realize that your peace comes totally from within. I heard that so many times it made me sick. I thought if I heard it one more time, I was going to puke. Your happiness is from within. Your happiness comes from within. Your happiness comes from, where is it located? Between my intestines and my stomach? Where? Within what? It's not within my body. It's within my being. It's within my mind. My happiness comes from within because it's me that's determining my perception of everything. So my happiness is coming from within. So if I want to be honest, then I have to have consistency of thought.